Hey, this video is for Mike and a special shout out to Jonathan. What I'm going to show you is a couple of things that these guys are helping me with, so helping me understand all of this stuff. I did manage to get one of my Faustian Bargain BMS activator boards working. And I guess what was throwing me off is there's a couple of them now, and one's working and one's not. This one seems to work on those two battery packs individually. So the other thing that I found out from Jonathan is that I can't use one of these external batteries and use the voltage off of that to charge or to activate the BMS in these, because the BMS needs that negative black wire as well as the blue wire. So I thought I would kind of test that, and what you can see is I'm coming down from this battery here. I'm coming down into the Faustian Bargain board, out on my red lead, coming out, not my red lead. My red lead is actually on my white, which is the activation part, and then my black wires on the black wire. Well, what you see is that I've got a constant 3.3 voltage on that. So spot on, Jonathan. Thank you for that. But I did want to tell you that I've got one working. The next thing I want to do is I want to go through something with Mike on the old board here. This is the one from Jehu. Okay, Mike, I've got this one plugged in. Now, you were concerned about me not plugging this into anything else until I test it, in fear that it might allow voltage to come through at a higher rate and I might actually blow something else out. So I appreciate your feedback on that, and you're absolutely right. So what I did is I peeled back the shrink wrap on it, and I went ahead, this is the output posts here, I went ahead and put that on the meter, and sure enough, there's absolutely 0 volts coming out of that. So it seems to be that I did burn up this DC to DC board. I did order some more. I don't know, I may try to solder one on and dial it down to 3.3 volts and see if I can reactivate this board. But I did want you to know that I did test that, and sure enough, this is putting out nothing at all right there. Okay, and Mike, just to verify that there's not any higher voltage coming out of that blue wire as well, I've got that hooked up, coming around to my meter. I've got the common ground coming around to my meter, and it looks like that's putting out 0 volts right there. So in terms of plugging this board in and blowing something else up, I think I'm okay, and I don't need to. It's not putting out any power, but I sure appreciate the heads up on that. Okay, and then Mike, the last thing I wanted to talk about was this BMS, bypassing the BMS in the battery itself. All of the videos that you're sending me and all the links and things like that, I've been actually researching this for weeks. I have seen all of those, but I appreciate you sending them to me. I even seen the press where they're pressing this battery out due to this rubbery substance here. They're using a shop press and actually pressing the battery pack out. I did have a person here named Jarod who showed me that he actually cut this case here. He just used an angle grinder and cut it off on both sides all the way down. And then he was actually able to put this back on, and by the time you screw in the end plates, he was actually able to put it back on and keep the case together. But basically what's involved in this process, Mike, is you have to get into this end of the board, which actually sits about right here. And the black wire comes out of the BMS here. You have to unsolder that and move it up to the black main terminal up there. And then what you're bypassing is you're bypassing just the discharge part of the BMS board. So as long as I'm still charging through this port, I'm still getting the benefits of the charging aspects of the BMS. On the discharge, you're absolutely right. I would have to keep an eye on my voltage to make sure that it doesn't drop below 30 volts for the packs. because if I drop below, much below 30, I think this will actually go down to 28 or something. But if you drop below 30, you're going to damage your battery. And then the second thing, that I don't draw too fast from it and have it get overheat, which I really don't think running through an inverter and running lights and a TV and things like that I'm going to do. I'm certainly not going to run anything powerful like a heater or anything like that through it. So, but anyway, that might be my next step. This is a bad battery. I can't get this BMS to activate no matter what I do. So I may try to just wheel this back and cut off just this portion of the battery and go in and flip those, and then that way I'm bypassing the BMS on the discharge aspect of it. The way I've got all my batteries set up is I've got XT60s on the charging aspects and XT90s on the output of it. So anyway, I just wanted to clarify that. I sure appreciate your help. I know you had pretty thorough explanations on a lot of these things, and I appreciate you taking the time to do that. A lot of it I had already discovered on my own, but it's good to get another set of eyes on it. And then a lot of it you brought to my attention that I was not aware of. So I do appreciate that, and I do appreciate the other people commenting as well and adding their suggestions. So, okay, I'll probably put this video up, let it run for a day or two, and then pull it back down. I just wanted to communicate back with Mike. I haven't felt good the last few days. Many of you might know I have cancer, and it's really difficult for me from a pain perspective to work with these heavy batteries and stuff. So I just do what I can do. So anyway, enjoy your day. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.